It's Caleb.
It's Megan, and we're back with episode 5 of the #Whodis podcast.
Megan, we've made it to episode 5. How did this happen?
I don't even know how we got here. We just legged it, literally winged it along the way, didn't we? But anyway, we're here. It's episode 5, and we are so excited because we are doing something completely different this time. There's not really an influencer here at the moment.
Excuse me?
I've just offended my CEO, my boss. Sorry, Caleb. We actually have some incredible influencers lined up for you guys in the coming months, but that's just because the borders are closed at the moment. So instead, we are making Tropeaka the topic of conversation today. We had a lot of you comment on our socials saying, your podcast is called #Whodis, but we don't actually know who you guys are. Even people new to Tropeaka don't know much about Caleb or myself or just the brand's journey in general. So that's what we're here to highlight today.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good. And hopefully I don't just talk about myself. Let's get you involved as well. You've been doing some homework during the week, Meg.
I have. I always do my homework like a good girl. A few days ago on the Instagram, I posted a story asking...
On the Instagram? That made you sound really old.
Instagram.
The Instagram.
Oh, no, it did,
on
didn't
Instagram.
it?
We don't need a THE there.
Oh, no, I am getting old.
You know when people are like on the Facebook and you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
I did that. Damn it.
No, we're not starting. We're like 3 minutes in. We got to keep on going.
I meant to be with it. Gosh. So I posted a story on our Instagram asking you guys to ask us a bunch of questions, whether it be weird, funny, wacky, whatever you guys had to ask us. And so we whipped up the best of the batch today, so you guys can get to know a little more about us here at Tropeaka. So I reckon we should just get straight into it. None of this silly business with the dings and dongs.
The dings and dongs. I love
Dings
that.
and dongs.
Look, I mean, have you ever listened to those podcasts and it's like a 30 or 60-second intro and it's like it's endurance
Boring.
rate just to
Yeah.
get to it. Like, let's get straight into
Yeah,
it. Or they
guys.
have that little chit-chat. I mean, we've had a bit of a chit-chat, but like, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You've prepared
We're on
some
your
awesome
side,
questions.
guys, and we are going to get straight into it. So, I've got a question, from Cheeky Girl Kim. She's got a bit of a cheeky question,
Ooh.
if you must.
Love it.
So her question is, what inspired the brand, the name, the products, the entire lot? She wants to just know everything.
She wants us to just do the whole podcast in one question.
This is a one-question
That is
podcast.
Kim, that is a cheeky question. That's a
1 hour
great question, though.
yeah.
I really like it. All right, so how did Tropeaka start? We get that question all the time. I mean, my journey kind of starts in 2011. I was on, for those that listened to the Health Code podcast with Sarah and Kurt recently, one of Australia's biggest podcasts. I had the great honour and privilege to be on that podcast and tell my story about how Tropeaka started. So you might be hearing a little bit of the same story, but bear with us. Or bear with me, I should say. So 2011 to 2014, I was a fit young guy. I just turned 20 in 2011, and I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a doctor's polite way of saying, "Hey, I've got no idea what's wrong with you." I went from a fit, strong young guy to feeling like I'd been hit by a bus every single day, like chronic sickness, flu-like symptoms. Couldn't run 50 meters without getting dizzy. Felt like I had these flu-like symptoms every day, like chronic anxiety, and just feeling like absolute rubbish, like trash every single day, always needing to sleep, just absolutely in the pits. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, can't describe how horrible it was. And some doctors said what I went through was like worse than a bunch of different cancers, like that you could, at least from the symptoms kind of side of things and the daily kind of how you feel. And I certainly felt like absolutely horrible, to say the least. With that, as I said, like, there was crippling anxiety, and with crippling anxiety as well, you have horrible mental thoughts, but the physical side was so apparent, like just absolutely trashed and fatigued and just feeling like I'd been hit by a bus. So look, I went to a lot of doctors and even like alternative. Like I remember going to a naturopath at the time as well, and them not having really any answers, and it led me on my own kind of journey of self just discovery in my health, where conventional medicine couldn't give me the answers, and even like a naturopath I was seeing at the time couldn't really give me any answers, and it led me on to high quality nutrition and turning my life around through changes in my diet and changes in my lifestyle, like looking after my body more, everything around stress management to sleeping, and a whole myriad of things. It's a long, long list. And I did it like over a journey and a time period, working and seeking out the right kind of people to listen to. I got really into learning about functional medicine and how functional doctors would, which are the kind of doctors that treat the body as a whole, how they would kind of recommend someone in my position to kind of turn their life around. And funnily enough, at the same time, I became housemates with a guy called Blake, who was going through his own health issues, and he later became my co-founder and business partner in Tropeaka. And anyway, around 2014, when I was on like really starting to learn about how to look after my body, not only what to eat but what not to eat, it led us down to the health food store. And we realized when we went into the health food store as two like young 20-year-olds, it's like, man, the only people going into a health food store are either old people or hippies. And we're like, something needs to change here. Like, no one's making health foods cool. This is like in 2014. And we also recognized that gym supplements were unhealthy. So we thought, like, long story short, let's take health foods that are hippie and make them cool, and take gym supplements that are unhealthy and make them healthy and combine them together. And we had a whole bunch of different crazy ideas, and we might talk a bit more about that later in the podcast. But we ended up deciding, let's make health food something that people can really be proud about, especially on the rise of social media, where people want to express that value. Hey, I'm healthy and I'm proud of it. People have an easy time expressing that value on Instagram about the fact that they've gone out and, as a young 20-year-old, gotten wasted on the beers or the drinks on a Saturday night, and but like allowing people to really be able to emphasize, hey, I'm proud to be healthy. I'm proud to be into health foods and fitness, and hundreds of thousands of customers around the world later, and the fastest growing health food company in Australia. It's been a wild ride and a fun one, and something I'm extremely grateful for. We've got an amazing team here, and it's something that I'm truly humbled by and truly grateful for.
What a journey you've been on. That's incredible. Ever since you sparked that initial idea to say, like, wow, like I'm going to start, a health food company, how did the process begin? Like, how did you come up with the name? How did you sort of, educate yourself on how to bring all of these amazing superfoods and ideas and products to life?
Yeah, so I mean, firstly, the name, like we always knew that we wanted to conquer, and so we came up with like Conquer the Day the Healthy Way, which sums it up. Like everything in life, even myself and all that, it's like, how can I get the most out of my day and do the most? And we wanted to empower people in order to do that in their own lives. So Tropeaka has two words in it. It's got peak performance and tropical. So tro for tropical, peak for peak performance, and an A on the end. So peak performance came out of the conquering. Tro came from tropical. We wanted to make it like kind of that tropical vibes. We're here in Sydney. We've got the world famous Bondi Beach here, and we're all about like the sun and health and having a good time. And so we thought we'd combine that, and a lot of our kind of branding and imagery around the business is focused on that as well, and our roots here in Sydney. And that's how kind of Tropeaka started, and the name started, and how we wanted that initial direction. I think there was a part 2 to that question, but I got wrapped up in part 1. What was part 2?
Part 2 was where did the process begin from, sort of like sourcing your products and creating them, and that sort of design process as well behind it?
Yeah, so we came up with the idea in 2014. Well, funnily enough, our first idea was to start a kombucha business.
No way.
Yeah, so like kombucha was like, when we started thinking about it, like kombucha wasn't massive in 2014.
No.
It was on the rise. It got really big like 2016, 2017, 2018. So we could have been a big like kombucha company, but we didn't have the money. Pretty much. Like, it's a lot easier to bring superfoods to market than it is a drink product. So especially when you're talking about like facilities and production and whatnot. So we thought, hey, we'll bring out superfoods. We'll bring out, and funnily enough, like protein powders wasn't our first thing. It was like superfoods. We really love superfoods, like getting the most out of your day. And then we're like, let's also bring out like protein powders, because we noticed like all the plant-based protein powders tasted like crap. Like, we were consuming them. Oh, look, there was one or two that was decent back in like 2014 to 2016 when we were coming up with the idea. But we knew that plant-based proteins, 100% natural ones, could definitely be improved on. And we're world famous now for having a really great tasting plant protein, which I'm really proud of. But yeah, things take time. So we came up with the idea in 2014, but it's like getting to like, when I say getting to market, like starting first day, like takes time. So it took us 2 years until 2016 to find the best suppliers in the world. We knew we wanted certified organic products. Like, one thing I'm really passionate about is organic, like that actually allows for great soil quality. It's something we wanted to talk more about and go visit our farmers and our suppliers this year. And then COVID hit. I was planning to go to South America and places around the world in order to talk to suppliers. So we'll do that probably in 2021, hopefully. But like, when you hear some experts and they talk about like conventional farming, and we've got like 62 harvests left with crops, like, that's what some experts are saying, like, because of the degradation of our soil. I think that's the word, degradation, when you remove the soil quality. It's so important. Like, that's where like actual organic farming practices, sustainable farming practices are so important, so powerful. So not only for your health, but also for soil quality and future generations. So we knew it was something we wanted certified organic. So you got to find like the best suppliers around the world, and we're able to do that, and then work with the right food regulatory people, and work with your suppliers and product development teams in order to create these amazing products. So it took 2 years. Well, it took over 2 years, really. And then it's still a process. Like today, like, we're still refining our products and coming up with new ideas. How can we improve on this? How can we improve on that? There's no kind of, you hit a limit of perfection. It's like forever just trying to improve, make a better customer experience, and make a better quality product for your customers. And we ended up launching in February 2016, and it was it's been exponential growth since, and a lot of fun.
Wow. Yeah, it's only been a few guys since you guys actually launched, which is crazy. Even before I started at Tropeaka, I thought that you guys had been around forever because of, I guess, such a success that you guys have been. So that's awesome. I think this is another question we have that someone sent through, and it's from Can'twell_Julia. And she says, what is the product you are most proud of? I feel like that's such a hard question.
Cantwell.
Maybe
I don't know. That's her last name, I think, right? I don't know. Julia maybe. Cantwell, maybe? I don't know. What is the product you are most proud of? Great question, Julia. I mean, I'm really proud of, like, there's not a product we've taken to, like, we've put out there that I'm not proud of, right? Which is, like, there's a lot of companies out there that put out like a heap load of products, and like 50% of them aren't really up to scratch, right? But they're providing a whole lot of different options. For us, it's like, hey, we make sure that if we're going to launch something, we launch something that's great, not only for taste, but also for health benefits, and something that like a customer can be proud of. So, I mean, our lean proteins is like been the biggest game changer. Everyone loves them. So I'm very proud of that. And just seeing the amount of reviews on the website's incredible. But even our partnership with Sarah's Day with Body Bloom, and the quality of the ingredients in that, And then you go to our website and read the reviews, and I think it's 4.8 stars and out of 5, and just thousands of reviews. It's something in such a short period of time, so proud of. But yeah, I love them. Everything superfoods I'm proud of, just basic stuff like that, bringing out high quality superfoods and really cool tea products and herbal infusions. It's hard to really nail what product I'm most proud of, to be honest, but probably if I had to get down to it, the lean proteins and then Body Bloom. Yeah. Superfood greens I love.
Yes.
Everyone talks about the fact it's the best tasting greens powder they've tried, that's actually generally 100% natural. So yeah, it's all lots of proud.
Yeah.
What's your favourite product?
Oh, I shift all the time. My first favourite product was the Superfood Greens Plus D, but now I'm a spirulina gal. I love it. I will chug that stuff down every day, which is super funny because we're actually doing some spirulina shots today.
Yeah,
so I might
excited.
have to lose on purpose just to chuck a few down.
Yeah, your body adapts to it, and then really it's
right.
almost like it craves the nutrients. Just such a badass superfood.
Yeah, that's right. So let's go more into, I guess, Tropeaka's vision. You've already spoken a bit about how you came up with the brands and the products, but what's your mission at Tropeaka? How do you want to impact the world?
Yeah, so I know how much it sucks to have horrible health, right? And it's not even about just helping people with horrible health. I want people who have great health to have even greater health, right, every single day. Really, I know the feeling of having horrible health, and I know the feeling of just being strong, right, and knowing you can do everything in your day with ease. So we want to impact millions of people with our health around the world. We're on track with that. It's into the hundreds of thousands. Perhaps it's even more. We obviously sell to a whole lot of retailers and whatnot, and cafes who then do single serve portion sizes to all their customers. So perhaps we've already impacted over 1 million people around the world, which is a really cool thought. And then we've obviously got so much free content on our website as well. So we're helping people even through blog articles and whatnot and recipes. So I think it's just my focus is always how can we really be a business that provides value. We've got a mission statement at Tropeaka with all different things on, all different lists on it of why we come to work and why we do what we do. And one of them is providing premium quality products that allow people to conquer the day the healthy way. The next one is providing value to others and being a business that goes above and beyond, right? And that's the kind of business that we've always kind of focused on being, just allowing people to really get the most out of their day.
Yeah, that's so important. And even just as an employee of Tropeaka, I feel like an honor to be able to help impact people's lives. So it's really, really awesome.
Yeah, you do an amazing job. We're very blessed to have you, that's for sure.
Thank you. If you guys don't know, Blake and Caleb are absolutely incredible. Let's talk more about Blake, actually. I'm going to bring him into this. He's going to love me for this. Yeah. Sorry, Blake.
He likes being quiet
He
on
loves
the side.
being in the spotlight. So tell us more about, I guess, your relationship. I know that you guys were roommates.
Housemates. There's a clear distinction. I wasn't cuddling him in his bed. Although I'd give him a cuddle. He's a big sweetheart. I love him. We were housemates and since 2012. And then we came up with the idea in 2014. So it's kind of funny. It was it was almost like a God-driven thing. In that respect, is pretty special. So very grateful for him. He's an amazing guy, and he works. So I'm CEO. He's CBO, Chief Brand Officer, and he also works on the product development side. So everything that looks beautiful in the organization is because of him, and everything that. He works really closely with our product development teams and regulatory teams regulatory team in order to produce high quality products. So,
what was it like living together?
Surprisingly, it worked really well. And I say surprisingly because we're polar opposites, literally polar opposites. He's quite the introvert, and I'm quite the extrovert, and I like to annoy him, and he likes to make sure I don't annoy him. So it was Tropeaka 24/7, but that allowed us to really grow the business. We had we share the same values. and the same mission and purpose. So that makes life a whole lot easier in growing a business and getting along with each other. And it was a wild ride living together up until just recently. We lived together for 8 years, and it was only, I think, 3-4 months ago that we finally decided to move out. So into our separate ways, because you got to eventually do it. But it was great living with him.
Yeah, awesome. Were you excited to get out of his hair finally?
No, I want to come around.
Or was it a sad goodbye?
For him, he was loving it. I just want to get around and annoy him more often, but I don't get the opportunity these days. So
awesome. So what were the first products, I guess, that launched, I suppose? I think we also had another question here from the health.b, and it says, she asked, how did you decide which products to come out with?
Yeah, the
health.b.
Yeah. I wonder what the B stands for.
The health B.
We need to do some investigative reporting there. Shout out to our producer over there, Kate, who might have to do that for us. Yeah. What's the B? Come on. Or just DM us. If you're the .healthb, just DM us. We wanted, as I said, we wanted to come out with kombucha originally, which is funny. So we didn't do that. But we decided on superfoods and plant proteins. Back then, our first proteins were the pump proteins, and we decided to make a more refined protein. In terms of when I say refined, even more bells and whistles on it than, say, the pump protein, which is a great everyday regular protein. But definitely our lean protein is the standout performer and the most loved one. So we brought that out later on after I think it was a year and a half or a year, something like that. I think a year and a half. And it was just the pump proteins and the superfoods in the early days, and the Boost. Boost's been around. But you know the funny thing, none of those original formulas still exist. That's something that's been so important with our business, is like we've continually improved and refined it. So we're really excited. In fact, our lean proteins are undergoing that as well. So we're about to launch, I don't know when this podcast will go live, but we're pretty close to launching the updated lean protein 2.0, which is even
2.0.
creamier and nicer. Like, it's real hard with a plant-based protein to make it like creamier in consistency without it tasting gritty, but we've been able to do it and improve it even better, even more so. We're really excited about that. So it's just continue refinement and all that to make things better.
Yeah. Okay, while I've got the CEO right in front of me, guys, we get this question all the time. Caleb, would you please do the honour and tell us what the difference is between lean protein and pump protein?
Oh, our most asked question. Yeah. I love it. Well, I mean, our lean as I said before, our pump protein's like kind of the everyday one. It's got coconut sugar in it, so our lean proteins are sugar-free. It's completely flavoured off, say, stevia and monk fruit. It's got like the minutest amount of sugar from like cacao, for instance, or vanilla bean, whatever. But it's not like we've added in extra sugar like, say, coconut sugar, even though it's 100% natural sugar. The other cool thing is you're talking about, it's a complete protein, the lean protein. So it has, when you talk about a complete protein, you're talking about you're talking about having all your essential amino acids. So essential amino acids are ones that you need to get from your diet because your body's not able to manufacture them, so to speak, for want of a better way to put it. So it's a complete protein, has all the amino acids that you need, which comes through the combination of pea protein, brown rice protein, and sacha inchi. And we also have salted caramel in that flavour. We've got a synergistic herb and spice blend, which adds a finer little bit of detail to it. And we've also chucked in some cool superfoods as well, like maca in the vanilla lean protein, and some cacao and Dutch cocoa and whatnot in the lean choc. In the salted caramel, you've got maca, lucuma, and mesquite in a trio together to make a really kick-ass. Really, could call it a superfood protein. Yeah. Protein with superfoods. So, yeah, there you go. Nothing wrong with the pump protein. It's obviously a more affordable protein as well. So you can't go wrong with that. But definitely our most popular ones are the lean proteins.
Yeah. delicious. Which is your favorite flavor, actually?
Salted caramel, definitely. Yeah, I have that pretty much every day.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
my
leaning
go-to.
more towards salted caramel at the moment. I'm having
Yeah.
sweeter smoothies now that it's like winter here in Sydney.
Yeah.
I just like, those warm sweets, warm smoothies. Who has hot smoothies?
Yeah.
But yeah, sweeter smoothies.
Yeah. So we've got we've as I said, we've got the new lean proteins coming out. So it'll make it interesting how kind of really bolstered the vanilla. It's even better, and the chocolate.
I love that ad voice. Did you guys see that? Bolstered.
That was sexy, wasn't it? Who knew you could make protein so sexy?
We do not need any models here when we've got you, Caleb. That's for sure.
I love it. So yeah, look, let's see what the verdict is with making the 3 proteins even better. I'd say what is it, July now? I'd say come August, we've got pretty much mid-August, we've got everything, all 3 of them new and improved. All right, we've got word in from our producer Meg. Big news there on the on @the.healthb. We've found out it's Bethany.
Bethany.
Is it Bethany?
The
Did I get it
mystery
wrong?
name.
I might have
Bethany.
stuffed up already. No, it's Bethany. All right, I'm getting the nod. Getting the nod from the producer. Meg, I want to ask you some questions. I'm sick of talking.
Right.
How'd you get into becoming the social media manager? This is from @_Ivy Taylor _ That's some serious underscores.
Underscores. Do you remember underscores when you say like your Instagram name to someone? Just follow me @_.
Yeah, like what if you're out, you've met the man of your dreams, and he's like, oh my God, hey, can we connect on Instagram? Can we connect on IG? And you're like, I'm @Ivy Taylor, and then you go home, you realize, oh my God, I forgot the underscores.
Imagine, the heartbreak.
And then you are telling your grandchildren later on in life, well, if you're telling your grandchildren, you ended up probably finding the man of your dreams, but let's pretend he was this second place one. You're like, but there was this other man. But I forgot
Got the underscores.
And they're asking you, the grandchildren are like, Grandma, do you have any good life lesson? And you're like, don't put underscores in your username. I think that's look.
To be honest, I think it's just because there might be so many Ivy Taylors out there.
Maybe.
Imagine.
Ivy Taylor, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
I like Ivy
that
Taylor.
name, Ivy.
I really
Ivy
like the name
first
Ivy.
name? I like it.
I hope so.
We love your name, Ivy.
Yes.
Good stuff.
DM us.
Yeah, send us a DM.
Tell us all about you. I like that. Megan, how'd you become the social media manager?
Well,
Ivy wants to know.
it's actually a very funny story. It came about from a friend, actually, who messaged me on Instagram asking if I was interested in Tropeaka. And I said, I thought it was a collab, literally just for products.
Because you got to explain why. You're actually a model and you got a decent social media following.
Yeah.
And you
I
don't have an
suppose so.
underscore on your username, do you? Do
No.
you?
No, I don't.
okay,
I had
good.
to think about that. I
Yeah.
don't know why. So yeah, I got reached out to by a friend, and I was like, "Yeah, cool. That sounds awesome." I knew of Tropeaka, and I've always seen you guys' stuff, so I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And then she was like, "Sweet, here's the CEO's number. We're gonna get you in for an interview." And I was like, in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was an actual job. And I'm such an opportunist. I literally say yes to everything, not in a bad way, in like a good way, because like I always just want to like try something new.
That's dangerous. Our competitors
I
are
know.
now going to see the amazing job you're doing and be like, hey, you want to switch to us?
I would never betray you. Trust me. So yeah, I said, yeah, why not? Came in for an interview. And you didn't even, I think I talked about this in another podcast. I prepared my resume.
Yeah.
I had to go back 2 years. I was working with my dad at the time. And so I didn't really have a resume, to be honest. So I went back, scruffed myself up. And then you didn't look at my resume and I didn't think I was going to get the job. And I was like, oh no. And then turns out, next thing you know, I'm on your guys' social media team, which was amazing. Started off having a bunch of fun. It was such an incredible job, and I really wanted to work more for you guys, which meant leaving my dad. He was really, really sad. But eventually I started learning more, becoming more involved with the social media team, and I've actually never been a social media manager before. My background, it comes from like law and fitness, and I did modeling, and I worked in retail. I loved retail. I've worked so many retail jobs in my life. So yeah, that was sort of my background. So this is like kind of like the unknown for me. So it was really awesome that I got this opportunity. So yeah, you guys asked me to go become a social media manager, and I like just jumped right in. I was like, yeah, why not? Like, it's an awesome company. I love social media. I'm always on social media every single day.
You mean I could do Instagram for a living?
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of cool because I kind of did have a little bit of background there from my own social media account. So yeah, that's basically how I became the social media manager.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, the big thing you didn't say was the fact that you worked for us and proved yourself for quite a while before we were like, hey, do you want to become social media manager? And I think that's very important. Like, don't limit yourself
100%.
in life. Like, be open to all new opportunities. It's the fact you're an opportunist, as you said, that gave you this opportunity to begin with. It's a pretty amazing job what you get to do. Like, everything from running the team and getting paid to do Instagram for a living. You go and do like IG lives and, you know.
Yeah. I think TikTok's the most fun, making TikToks work.
Or going to the cafes, Tropeaka tries.
Yeah. Got heaps of fun segments. Yeah, it's awesome. It's an amazing job. Definitely wouldn't trade it for the world. You can call me on that one if I ever decide to leave.
We're going back to this episode 5, Megan. All right. You made me a promise. No, you're doing awesome. We're very, very grateful for you, and all of our social media team doing a fantastic job, absolutely kicking butt, providing value every single day. Love the Tropeaka tips and all sorts of things and recipes and whatnot we do. What's the from at? Now, we looked at this earlier because this was a tough username. This was real tough. I'm going to butcher it.
I feel like this is the entertainment of our podcast, guessing every name.
at Ines Gone. Okay, so I thought it was at Ines Gone Calves, but then it's like an actual name, right? Like Ines Gone Calves or something?
Gone Calves.
Calves, that's right.
It.
Yeah, and she looked like an absolute sweetheart in her display picture. She has asked, what is the best and hardest part of being a social media manager?
Well, I think the best part is a no-brainer. You get to impact people's lives every single day. Like you said before, providing value to people's lives and just making like an impact just by doing something so little, like providing you guys with like our daily tips and stories and recipes and just a whole bunch of inspiration that even sometimes we don't know how much it can impact someone's day, and really just, I guess, turn around their perspective. So I think that's the coolest part about the job is that you get to impact so many people that like you wouldn't even think of. So definitely don't take that for granted. That's probably the best part. The hardest part, I would say, being new to, I guess, a sort of managerial role, I would say probably the pressure of being kept accountable for running a social media team, being kept accountable for everything that goes out on social media. So I guess I would just say like the pressure part. But I think as time passes, that's something that will continue to challenge me, but I'll also start to become more comfortable with.
Yeah, nice. How do you deal with stress and pressure? You're still young, 22, right?
23. I just turned 23.
Yeah, young.
With stress, I feel when I was younger, I always used to tell my friends, I don't stress. Like I was that girl who was just like had it all together, which was so not true. I can stress a lot, but I think it's just kind of embracing the stress and being okay with being stressed and then acting on it and then saying, I'm going to do this and that's going to help me mentally maybe slow down for a moment and just take a breath, go for a walk, and just kind of actively think about what I'm going to do to stress less.
Yeah.
Instead of ignoring it and pushing it to the side and be like, I'm not stressed. That's so easy to do. Just acknowledging it and taking action.
Yeah, I like that. So many people, like it's so easy to, I shouldn't say so many people, I should say, what I was saying was it's so easy to pretend something doesn't exist and it just linger there in the background. And I like the fact that you acknowledge it, because only by acknowledging it do you say that there's a challenge. And I like the word challenge. Your words that you use are very important in life. So is something an issue or is it a challenge? Is it a problem or is it a challenge? And even just redefining how you use words in order to set up the parameters of how you're actually going to act on the stimulus, which is the challenge, right? Which then allows you to acknowledge it and go after finding a solution for it.
Yeah,
so I probably sounded really probably made that sound very complicated in how I described that. But all you're doing is saying, hey, there's a challenge there. I acknowledge it. I'm going to actually go out and try find a solution for it. And you gave a couple. You said breathing, right? Take a deep breath, which is breath work, which is meditation. You might want to do that for 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? And then you said go for a walk. Mm-hmm. A walk's very powerful because it's exercise. It gets the lymphatic system.
Fresh air.
Exact. Fresh air makes you also breathe as well, right? Gets the respiratory system and the cardiovascular system moving. It gets the lymphatic system moving, which is, your body's ability to get rid of waste materials through lymph fluid, which only works when when you're moving, like through muscle contractions and whatnot. So all of that is just finding ways to actually overcome a problem which isn't a problem, is challenge because you've addressed it in the first place. So
And I feel like, just touching on that, I feel like a lot of people actually underestimate just taking a minute to breathe, because your breath is actually your connection to life. And so, when I think about ways of overcoming mental or physical stress, I automatically go to my breath, because that's why we're alive. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah,
I love it. Awesome. All right. I think there's actually some questions on that later on in the podcast as well, so we might even get to that later. But we always do spirulina, don't we? So what's happening today? You've set up an old doozy of a gee, that's
my
a horrible word.
God,
I hate that doozy.
We're at our favorite segment, at least mine. I love spirulina. I don't even know why we're doing this, because I'm excited to drink these.
Exactly.
So we've got the Meet the CEO Spirulina Shots edition. So basically, I'll be asking Caleb some questions about his life that reveal sort of his personality. And what's going to happen is, once I ask him these questions, I'm going to guess the answer to them. So they'll be wacky and weird questions just about lifestyle. And if I get it wrong, I have to take a spirulina shot. And if he gets it wrong when he asks me questions, then he'll have to take a spirulina shot. And if you guys don't know, spirulina is one of the world's best superfoods. I feel like a badass when I drink spirulina. That's why I love it so much. I'm such a superfoodie, could shot these all day. It's actually rich in chlorophyll, and it might not be the best tasting, kind of tastes like creek water, but you do get used to it, and it has incredible benefits.
Love it. I'm excited for this one. I've done a little sneaky, and I've added 2 questions in that I'm going to ask you. So you've got, 4 questions for me. I'm going to add 2 for you. And we've got to, write down our answer, show it to the camera beforehand. And then see, right?
Yep.
Okay, I got my pen in hand. Well, actually, no, because you're asking me, so you're the one. Yep.
I'll
do it later.
Okay, so the first question is, out of your room, desk, or kitchen, which would you clean first? I'm writing down my answer right now.
Okay.
I feel like this is a given.
Yeah,
but
do I have to look away? I'm going to look. Do I have to look away?
Okay, yeah, look away for a
Okay,
second.
I'm looking away. You show the camera.
This is definitely a given, but I feel like I'm wrong for some reason. You know when you have that gut instinct? My gut is telling me this is the wrong answer, but I just feel like it's right. So, okay, I've showed them what it is. You can turn your head back now.
Okay. This one's tough because I'm the type where if I'm cleaning one thing, I'm cleaning it all.
Yeah.
So this is more a pattern of my apartment and where everything is and moving in a certain direction. I'm saying kitchen. Did you go bedroom?
I went desk.
Desk!
I knew I was actually going to guess your room first.
Because I'm a workaholic.
But I was like, he's working all day. Surely he's not going to clean his room first. There was a time when I thought kitchen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have went with my gut.
Yeah. No. Look. Desk. Actually, funnily enough, I probably keep the desk the messiest because I'm like, I've got to deal with this challenge later. Like, I have pieces of paper or whatever. Got to keep that there. I can't like move it. So it's like, I'll do something. I'll then finish the task. If there's paper there, I'll chuck it out or put it whatever. So the desk kind of has to stay a little bit messy here and there unless I've completed everything. All right. So that doesn't mean you chug one.
Yes. Okay. Let's
We're
do
just
this.
doing one at a time. Yep. All right.
Yep. All right. These are actually really rich.
I love every time we do it and then you smile and it's just green. It's so good. All right, you got to ask the questions with a green mouth. You know what? You do one more and then I'll ask the question after that so I can get involved.
Okay.
Okay,
all
next
right.
one.
So the next one is what's your favorite movie genre?
All right, I'll look away.
Okay, I'm writing my answer down. This better be right. I swear this better be right. If you do not watch this genre. Okay, so this is my answer, guys, for everyone watching this. Caleb, he just turned his head. He's cheating.
I didn't see anything. I thought you'd finished it like ages ago. I'm still not looking.
Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. You can turn back.
This is within my friendship group, especially my close friends, they know I'm notorious for not watching movies or anything or Netflix or whatever because I just don't include that in my day. You got to sacrifice something if you're working long hours. So, what's your favorite movie genre? Like, it could be anything. Like, it really could be anything. But as a kid, or when I used to watch a lot of movies as a teenager, it was comedy. Like I'm talking about
action.
Oh, action. No. No, actually, I don't care for action. If anything, I would do like
rom-com.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, I think one of the last movies I saw was in the cinema was what's the one in Singapore? The love story. Come on,
producer. What was it?
That's
Crazy
it.
Rich Asian.
Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians. So I watched that. I think I cried in it. I like to cry, but I don't cry. My biggest issue in life is I want to cry and I can't cry. So
really? I should have bought some onions or something.
No, I want proper tears. Like that's just going to irritate it. I love Forrest Gump. That's probably my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
I cry whenever I watch that. Is it The Blind Side? Yeah.
Wait, so when was the last time you cried? Now I'm really like, just want to know when you cried.
I cried ask my girlfriend. I cried in front of her about 4 months ago.
I thought you were going to say 4 years from
No. But I've cried like twice in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Or 3. I've cried in front of Blake. Moral of the story, I want to cry more and just nothing comes out. So it's such a great stress reliever.
Then? Yeah.
Great stress reliever. I've got to meditate or I've got to sleep. Whenever you want to cry, go for a sleep.
Oh, that is the worst. Do not tell.
Don't do that.
Oh, my pet hate is when me and my boyfriend have an argument.
I'm only talking from a guy's perspective.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I got no idea. Don't listen to me.
When you have an argument with your boyfriend and they just are able to happily sleep peacefully beside you and you're literally up and you're like, what the hell? Like, we just had a fight. Why are you fast asleep? And my mind is going like 100 miles an hour. Yeah, that's my
I've actually read that in a relationship book before, that exact scenario, how guys operate differently to women. Guys love to Find a solution, get over it, and forget it ever happened.
That is so true.
And then I'm going to get so many guys like, well, actually, thank God guys don't watch this, but if they did, they'd probably be like, no, you idiot, in the comments. Like, you got no idea. It's like, all right, whatever. I'm just talking, just general, like, relax. But that's probably, probably sums up a lot in terms of the difference between guys and whatever.
Yeah.
Exercise as well for me when I'm stressed, like, yeah, just get out, do something
Bit of
different.
tennis, hey?
Change your
tennis coach.
Change your environment. Exactly. I used to be a tennis coach for those listening before I started Tropeaka. So,
little fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
Well, let's pause the podcast for a second. Just a quick announcement. Firstly, thank you so much for tuning into the hashtag Whodis podcast so far. Just a quick reminder, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes, and don't forget to share it with your friends. You can also find us at Tropeaka on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo, along with a whole lot of fun.
So one thing people don't know is we have a camera that just does intervals. Like you got to stop every half an hour or whatever. And then I got to reclap to sync cameras and microphone. And for the first 20 seconds afterwards, I've clapped on a cold day and I'm just in pain, just here in pain, just pretending not. So all my first sentences after a break are like,
rough.
Get it together. All right, so we're doing a question for you, Meg, now. Wait, did you take both? No, you got the other one wrong.
No, I just had one.
Favorite movie genre. Okay, you got to drink again.
Oh,
you
my
nearly
goodness,
tried to get out of that.
I didn't do it.
I'm ahead of you.
I made these ones so thick. All right, ready?
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Solid.
Ella.
All righty.
I think I've got. Do I have spirulina on my nose?
Not on your nose, it's all over your teeth.
that out.
Love it. All right, what was your such a good look? What was your? I'm going to join the club though. I'm going to get this one wrong. What was your childhood dream job? And you got to give me 3 to guess from.
All right. So there's professional dancer,
Yeah.
doctor,
Yeah.
and international model.
All right. Turn around. All right. Wait. This one, I had to really think about. Don't look yet. I'm just showing this to the camera. Alrighty. So I've got, you can turn back.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you've got to give your answer, don't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What is it?
My childhood dream job was actually a doctor.
What? That's the one I was like, no chance.
Yeah, in preschool, I wrote on this.
You tricked me as well. You knew exactly how to trick me on that one.
In preschool, I wrote on this little card that said, it was kind of just like, what do you want your dream job to be? And it's got my whole fingerprint on it and everything. And it says a doctor and it's dated and signed by me.
Oh,
by me.
No one, wait, are girls even at that age thinking there's a career in modelling?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I should have known that because I put international model because I'm like, you are a model.
I mean, girls play dress ups and all that kind of stuff. So maybe.
And then I was like, but you're not a dancer. Are you a dancer?
Yeah, I did.
You're a dancer?
Yeah, I danced.
Oh, you do cheerleading.
Yeah, and cheerleading.
Oh, so you do, what's your other form of dance? Wait, you said and cheerleading, so you made it sound like there was another form of dancing.
Oh, no, just dancing, cheerleading.
Wait, is that the same?
No. Is
cheerleading dancing?
I mean,
do you
there's
count it as a
dancing and
dancing?
cheerleading, but I do competitive cheerleading or did competitive cheerleading.
Okay, but do you count that as a form of dance? You do, right?
No, because cheerleading's completely different.
Okay, well, I don't know.
It's almost offensive to say that.
I know. Oh, imagine the comment section
all
now.
the cheerleaders are going to grill you.
All your friends are just going to be pissed
Even
at me.
the dancers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a cheerleader.
You can tell I've got no idea about dancing. What's the form of dance that you like then?
I guess at first my favorite was ballet, but I think my favorite now is contemporary hip hop. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Mine's not looking like an idiot. It's really
Good answer.
I've almost mastered it on the dance floor.
We were doing the nut bush before this, guys, to warm up for
Exactly.
this potty, actually. He's not bad with his legs.
Thank
he can
you.
move his feet.
Thank
so,
you. Thank
yeah.
you. Look, we have a dear friend of mine. She actually works at Tropeaka as well, and she's from Colombia. Shout out to Diana. And learnt
birthday today.
learnt some salsa off one of her friends. She's a salsa dancer as well, and I
So
thought
you can salsa.
oh, real poorly, but I did it for a good 4 or 5 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so some private lessons and whatnot. And
Have you got like a little salsa suit? A little outfit?
No. You got to do 6 months before you graduate to the uniform, I think. I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. I learnt that I had hips, which was great.
Yeah.
Never knew that I had hips as a white boy from Australia. So that was all good.
There you go. There is hope to all the white boys out there.
Can your boyfriend dance?
He's all right. He's
Yeah.
not that great of a dancer. I have to teach him a little bit, but he's got like a little bit of a groove, but he only has one move that he pulls out at every single party. And it's like this little heel toe kick thing. It's so hilarious. So,
Well, look, that's one more move than me, so good on him. What a champion. All right, I've got to take this spirulina shot.
Oh, yeah, you do.
All righty. On 3.
On 3. That was
And then
like
do it straight away.
0.
Oh, God, that's the strongest one you've done today.
Yeah, I told you. I made it like extra thick. I literally put barely any water in it.
Oh, that is... No, that's literally horrible.
If your face is like
Oh,
that.
I have it every day. Like, I don't have it every day. I have it often, spirulina.
That's so funny.
I definitely don't have it every day, but I have it often, and God.
Your teeth are so funny right now. Yeah. I think it's also the texture. It sort of tastes really like icky, like,
There's not enough fluid in that. No, that's real. I got to pretend it's not bad, so we do our product justice. But look, if you're buying spirulina and putting that much spirulina and water in it,
not that much, guys.
Don't do it, please.
Just like half a teaspoon or
I'm
a teaspoon.
surprised you handled that so well.
Yeah. I had to put on a front a tiny bit to live up to my super foodie reputation.
Oh, God, I don't want to lose anymore. What do we got? We still got 3 more.
3 more to
Okay.
go. All right,
you
let's
ask
go
me
to
a
the next question. Okay, so the next one is, what do you do to take a break from work during the day? And honestly, I have no idea. There are only 2
rubbish.
things I can think of. And
No idea there's only 2 things. That's a 50-50 shot.
I don't know. But then it's like, do you even take a break? But I've seen you take breaks. So it is
take a break.
possible.
You know what? I'm gonna make this a little bit trickier.
No, please don't.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Well, I do a few things. So,
yeah. Well, yeah.
I do a few things. All right, I'll look away.
I don't even know how to explain this task that I'm writing down. I know this isn't right. I didn't even know what this guess is.
How do I pick this one? Because I do a few things. Give me something more.
What do you generally do to take a break from work? Maybe let's say to actually take a break, like an hour break from work, like doing
that
something.
set me up. I know. That set me up. I know where you're going.
Okay, I'm going to show you the camera.
Answer, then.
Look away. Okay, I'm showing them.
It's such a setup. I know what you're going to say.
What?
Tennis.
Yes, but also silly games.
What's silly games?
Like fun games. Like, I don't know. You just do random games sometimes, don't you?
Like Monopoly? What are we talking about? Games?
Like ping pong. Like the other day you were playing
okay.
ping pong or darts or just silly fun games.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We got a ping pong table in the office. I go out and hit tennis balls most days.
Woo-hoo!
Got the ball machine, so I knew you were going to get that far up. Set up. What do you do for now? I was going to trick you and just be Instagram DMs or something, or WhatsApp or whatever. But,
Can't fool me.
All right, now I've got to go through this again.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Do I actually do it on 3? Like I'm meant
That's
to do?
why I did it quickly. I was like, he's
3,
just
2,
going to.
1. Here we go.
I'm dying.
Look, I think you need to do it at that strength next time, like every time, because it generally makes this game more entertaining.
Yeah.
Because that is, when you get cold shivers?
Yes.
Oh.
That is exactly what
But
it
like
feels
cold shivers
like.
from eating, like,
yeah, something horrible.
Oh, by the way, don't do this at home. Disclaimer, you're not allowed to.
Yes, please don't do that,
do
This
it-
is more than the recommended serving. We're just doing this because it's all or nothing here.
Because we've exactly. Consult your healthcare professional before undertaking large amounts of spirulina, please.
That's right. All safety here.
Oh god, NASA actually. I say this in every podcast. NASA researched it for long-term space missions. So NASA see the use in it. That's for sure.
You're planning on flying
because it's
to
the
moon.
most complete superfood on the planet.
Yeah,
it's badass. All right, 2 left. God. Which superfood would you choose to be? And you need to give me 3 to guess from.
Okay. Is this for me?
Yeah, so you got to say, give me 3 and I'll pick one of them.
Oh, this is so easy because I'm going to choose the one I love. I have to choose the one I love, and I literally told you
You've already
before
given me the
which
answer.
one you love.
Yeah, well, sucked in. Yeah, okay.
Do we have to do superfoods?
Yeah, no. You just gave me the answer. That's your fault. Spirulina.
Okay.
Drink up.
No, I'm not even
Drink
gonna. I'm
up.
not gonna put spirulina.
All right, let's do second favourite.
Okay.
Let's do second favourite. We know spirulina is your favourite.
Tone BCAA plus.
No, it's got to be like one single superfood.
Okay. Maca.
Mm-hmm.
Cacao.
Yep.
And wheatgrass. And I've never really spoken to you about these favourites before. So
Actually, I've heard you say wheatgrass before, but I'm not sure. Okay, turn around.
All right.
All right, cameras got it. All right, what is it?
Okay. My second favourite is actually cacao.
No!
And that's because I live, you don't understand.
I had maca.
Maca is actually...
You're a maca girl.
Okay, look, it could have been maca, but I chose...
What do you mean it could have been?
I chose
You've got to be
cacao
definitive.
because I wanted you to do a shot and because I literally almost have... I love having cacao as a hot chocolate. I almost have it every single night. I love hot chocolate, like obsessed. So I always have cacao.
Oh my God.
I just mixed it up. I always have cacao before bed.
One more.
I'm loving life.
God, I'm nearly out of water as well.
This is the best job ever. I should do like an evil laugh.
There is
That
no
sounded
way
horrible.
I'm losing this last question. This is torturous.
Okay.
All the previous ones have been fine. You've all the previous episodes, but you've really
ramped it up.
And you know the worst bit is like that little frothy bit you get with it as well. All right. Then you got to ask me the question.
Yeah. The next one is how many Tropeaka products do you usually take in one day?
Okay.
So this is going to be a number, just a number of products.
Yeah, and you need to. This is our last one.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just writing my number down. Oh, can I do an or? I want to do an or.
I just ate the microphone.
Oh, this is hard, actually. Okay. Oh, no. I'm actually crossing out my answers so much because I feel like, okay, just mind my scribble. I feel like my first answer was right. But anyway. Okay, I've shown the camera. You're good to go.
So this is on average.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, I mean, certain times, like, for instance, I might take Protect Tea or Sleep Tea under the circumstances. If I need a bit of a boost to the, support my immune system, I'll take Protect Tea. I love it. Or Canoe, for instance. I really love them. But I won't take them every day. Not that you can't, but I take so many supplements.
Yeah,
I take a lot of stuff. So it can be like, God, you just like don't have, it's just too overwhelming. Like if all you're doing is taking supplements all day. So on average, and then also it depends if I've trained that day or whatever. But
let's just say you've trained that day.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say on average, 3.
That was my first one.
Good.
That was my first answer. And then I second guessed myself because I was like, I know like he does little concoctions of like this and this and this of like the superfood. So I was like, if he takes like a superfood, like a massive superfood drink in the morning, then like maybe he has lean protein throughout the day and stuff. So I was like, maybe it's more than 3.
Yeah, so it's on average. So some days
rip that up.
I'm so happy that I got out of that. So yeah, generally like I will take lean protein once a day, matcha and maca.
Yeah.
And sometimes acai on that, which could equal 4. So a lot of days I take 4, but so what's that? Yeah, lean protein, sort of caramel, matcha, maca, and acai. But
hey, that's 4.
Yeah, but then some days I might only take the lean protein, for instance, and forget to take that, or I might actually take lean protein and maca together.
Yeah, yeah.
In some rice milk, so it evens out at 3.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, there's days I'll take 5 if the circumstances, but as I said, I take so many different supplements, so I kind of just stick to a few of the Tropeaka products and might take more under different circumstances. Or I might take spirulina some days as well.
Yeah.
I don't make smoothies. That's the other thing. Like people kind of do the whole smoothie thing. I just go like quick rice milk, lean protein, soda caramel with some maca. Might add a little bit of stevia on top if I want to, if the maca kind of dulls out the taste, but I don't do the big elaborate smoothies with a million different ingredients.
Yeah, you just need something
not because
fast.
I don't think it's a good idea. I just am a very complex individual that does things that I don't quite understand always. So just
interesting.
Speed. Just speed. Get on to the next thing. I think I said speed 6 times there.
All right,
well, I'm real thankful to see you doing this.
Fair game.
3v3.
Last one. Here we go.
That one's real Cody.
Yeah.
That one's thick.
You can hear it.
Yeah. I actually saw that one and I left it. I'm like, nah, I thought the one on the right just looked a little bit less dangerous.
All right.
All right, do we have how's the teeth? We smiling? Kate, producer, we're all good? You need water. I'm not sure. Kate, could you please help us out with a water? Thank you. All right, on to the 3 versus 3. That was a real good even battle. Well done. All right, we're on to rapid fire questions. Hashtag get to the point segment.
That's
Is that what we want to call it? Do we want to call it that?
Hashtag get to the point. Yeah. The no crap segment.
Yeah,
you won't need toilet paper.
There we go.
That was a horrible joke. I'm so sorry if your ears are bleeding.
Yeah. All right, drink some water. You need some.
So, all right, quick sip. Rapid fire questions. We're getting straight to the point here. No BS.
Yep.
Answer super quick answers. I'm just going to ask Caleb a bunch of questions that are actually going to help to maybe motivate. Can't even talk. Motorbike.
There we go. That works.
To motivate and inspire you guys out there. All right. Are you ready?
I'm more than ready. Let's go. Come on.
3, 2, 1. What is the most important thing when it comes to health, and how do you prioritize your health whilst working?
I mean, there's not one thing that's most important, but it's rapid fire. So it's self-awareness to know where your body's at, where your mental state's at, how you're actually looking after your body. And if you need I've got post-spirulina after effects. Okay, some self-awareness here. Let's breathe. Let that spirulina drop down into the stomach. So, yeah, self-awareness. Know where your body's at. Don't push yourself to an extreme where you burn out. Understand what you're capable of doing. And then facilitate an environment, create an environment through nutrition, through lifestyle changes, through rest, through meditation, through stress reduction, through sleeping, through exercise, through peace in order to conquer your day.
Excellent.
I said nutrition first, didn't I? I'm better off because that's important.
Nutrition. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. What motivates and inspires you?
I absolutely love going onto the Tropeaka website and seeing the product reviews. We implemented them like maybe 12 months ago now, and we didn't have them for like 3 years on our website. And just being able to go on there and see what people have said about our product, like, man, that motivates me. But also you guys as a team, like we have the most incredible team, from operations to customer service to our 3 managers. Hannah, Liv, and yourself, like killing it in all 3 segments of our business, like really motivates and inspires me, knowing that we've built something amazing, and it's just the beginning.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. Just waking up to another day in the life.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
I feel very, very grateful, extremely grateful.
All right. So what is the number one key to success?
Number 1. I think hard work and having purpose. So that's 2. I sucked at that answer. But, yeah, I mean, success isn't really success, is it? Unless you're doing something that's, like, built for purpose, right, in your life.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm not thinking as clear there, and there might be some exceptions. But I think, like, purpose doesn't need to be around finances, right, or building a business. Like, purpose can be around, like, looking after a loved one, or bringing up one of the most amazing things, like being a mother or father and bringing up children, and just living a life of love, even though that sounds so corny. Purpose comes in all shapes and sizes, and having the self-awareness to know what your purpose is. And then hard work. You can't achieve anything in life unless you generally work hard and accept that there's going to be sacrifices.
Yeah, love that. All right. What advice would you give to people who want to be an entrepreneur?
Again, self-awareness. So are you really an entrepreneur, or do you just want to live the lifestyle of someone like myself or whatever, like, or someone else who's far more successful than me? Do you look at that, right, and say, I want to be that, but you really aren't that? Like, you're not willing to put in the effort required in order to overcome a lot of challenges, which is what an entrepreneurial life is. Same goes for any discipline. Like, if you want to become a professional athlete, it's hard work. Do you want, like, having the self-awareness, do you want to be a professional athlete? Do you want to put in like hard training 6 times a week in order to achieve that, or a professional singer or actor or dancer? So it's much easier. I was having this conversation today. Like, I have a life that's very full on, and the guy's like, how do you cope? And I'm like, well, mate, it's a whole lot easier when it's self-inflicted. I choose to do this because it's my purpose, it's my passion, and I have the self-awareness to know that I can push my limits because I'm doing something that I feel I was put on this planet to do.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurs specifically, understand that. Are you truly an entrepreneur? And you'll know in your heart, but also you're going to go through so many times of like doubting and like, am I really an entrepreneur? And at that stage, like really look inside yourself, and if you truly believe it, even if there are a bit of doubts, you're going to get a lot of people. Like, I had people saying, hey, go get a normal job or whatever at the time. And I ignored that, having a little bit of, what's the word? A little bit of stubbornness about what who you are and where you're going.
Yeah. Great.
This is not rapid fire. Goodness me, I'm sucking. I'm so sorry.
So good. I love these answers. All right, next question. What is the biggest lesson you've learned?
Biggest lesson? Not everyone interprets things and interprets the world you see it as what I see it, sorry.
Yeah.
So I might see something happen and look at it exactly that way, but someone else looks at it a completely different way, and understanding that everyone has a different perspective, because reality doesn't exist. Reality is just a construct of your mind in order to how you perceive things, right? So how I say that, you might think, oh, that sounds woo-woo, but it's like, no, like someone can see 2 events happen, like a challenge come in your life. Like, for instance, my sickness that I went through, like one person could be like, that's the worst thing you've ever that's ever happened. That's the reality that they create. And then I could come along and say, no, that was a great event because it led me on to starting Tropeaka.
100%.
Same event happened, but 2 different perspectives, creating 2 different realities.
Yeah. I think it's also important to put yourself in the shoes of other people's perspective as well to fully understand too.
100%. So true.
All right. What's a passion that you've always wanted to pursue?
Well, the cool thing is, like, I look back to when I was in high school. I'm 29 now, and obviously, so 17 was when I left high school. I was underaged, and I've done all my passions except woodworking in terms of the HSC subjects I did. So I did like PE, and I became a tennis coach. I did German, and I went to and studied in Germany. Did business.
Can you speak German? What?
Ein bisschen. That's about it. Ich habe in 2011 in Berlin gewonnen. That's about all I've got. Did I do it in a previous podcast? I swear I spoke German a while ago. I know, it's been a while. But no, I speak German pretty poorly. I did it decently back in the day, but that was 2011.
Fair enough.
And yeah, so I've been very blessed and grateful to pursue a whole lot of passion. So I suppose if I look back to my teenage years when I was doing like school, the only passion still to go is woodwork that I might do later on. But I suppose I did that as a teenager. So yeah, I'm not sure. What's a passion you'd want to pursue later on in life?
I've always gone between things, mainly dancing, cheerleading. I've always been passionate about public speaking. For some reason, I love public speaking and speeding. I love speaking. I love public speaking and motivating and inspiring people. So that's always been like a passion. But I feel like that's a day-to-day thing where I can sort of put some positive and inspiring stuff out into the world.
It's awesome.
All right. So the next question, this better be a good one too, because it's what is something you've failed at? Please say you've failed at something.
I fail every day. That's the point of business, like not getting wrapped up in the fact that you suck at you suck and you got to find solutions, right? And that's why you get a really good team behind you, because they can plug the gaps, because you can't do everything. You know, you're only as successful as the team you have with you. So big failures. I had a couple big failures in public speaking when I was like younger throughout like my teenage years. So I decided to go and learn to do public speaking at Toastmasters for 3.5 years, and that really helped, right? So I've had some big failures there. I've had some big failures around my health, as I said, you know, it's still a failure, I suppose, of your body. I suppose it's not really a good way to put things, but you know, I've gone through some challenges around my health back in the day, and even today, like there's still things with my health that I'm still trying to improve, because I went through something that was such a crazy event that like it's not an overnight fix, right?
Yeah.
So although I'm incredibly strong these days, there's always things that you can improve in your health. So yeah, I suppose that in terms of failure, that just off the top of my head, but honestly, like failures happen all the time.
Yeah, that's right. And to be honest, failures are kind of like the most important thing about your journey. They're kind of like how you grow. I don't know. They make you appreciate the highs in life, I guess. So good on you for having some great, I shouldn't say great failures.
It's all part of the fun.
Embracing the failures every day. All right, we're at the very last question, which is, which hurdles did you personally face while starting Tropeaka, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so I was still improving my health while we were starting Tropeaka and coming into launching, and then even post-launch, right? So being able to balance like looking after your health when you've gone through such horrible circumstances, such as chronic fatigue, isn't easy. So having the right mindset helps. Having, again, I've used the word self-awareness, well, I suppose it's two words combined together, in this podcast is so important. Just like understanding what you can. I had a tennis coaching business at the time, so I had to run that because Tropeaka wasn't bringing in any money. So I had that plus Tropeaka plus looking after my health, and had some long like 18-hour days and crazy stints like that. So understanding like, okay, one day you can push your body this much, the other day you got to take it a bit easier, yeah, I suppose they're the hurdles. Other hurdles was like we had no money, right? We pumped $60,000 each into the business to begin in order to buy stock and get the business running. So we had no money for marketing. So it meant like, okay, there was a hurdle. One way we grew our business was we reached out to influencers and were like, hey, we can't pay you money, but we can give you a product if you generally love it. And they loved it, and then they promoted the product. So, you find ways around things where other businesses can pay an influencer, but you can also know that, okay, you got an amazing product, so you can rely on just providing that to them for free for them to promote it in order to get over the hurdle of not having any money in order to market and promote the business. So I suppose, does that answer the question?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, there's my horrible job at rapid fire.
I know, that was the slowest burning fire
exactly.
ever.
I was like Tinder.
Rename.
I was like Tinder and hot coals overnight. Kind of just, a camping trip where you wake up the next morning and the coals are still burning.
Yeah.
That was it. That was horrible.
How funny. All right. We're going to move into some frequently asked questions. So these are some of our best handpicked questions that you guys asked us. As I said earlier, I put out a question sticker so you guys could ask us all of your questions. We're going to answer a bunch of these.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you the first one, actually.
All right.
What was so this is from Starcy Beatty? Beatty?
Starcy B. Oh, Beatty. Starcy Beatty.
Beatty. Like Bay. No, because that's BAE.
Yeah.
Beatty. Yeah, we'll go with Beatty. These usernames are tough today. They're probably not tough. We're just struggling.
Yeah.
So what was your childhood like, she asked, and how did you come to work at Tropeaka?
So I actually moved to Sydney. I was born in South Africa. So I moved to Sydney when I was 2 years old, was lucky enough to come over here and kind of grow up in Australia. I suppose I could say I definitely had a very privileged childhood. I had access to so many things that I wouldn't have had the opportunities or chance to have back home in South Africa. So those are things I'm definitely grateful for. I was super active. I feel like I've done everything under the sun. I did karate. I'm actually like a second, a second brown belt in karate.
Nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I stopped and I regret it because I never got up to black.
I got to start being nicer to you.
Yeah, I'm going to karate chop you. I was super active, did little athletics, dancing, cheerleading. I was kind of academic, more, more creative at a younger age. I had a good childhood. I was surrounded by lots of loving friends and family. Like I said, I'm an opportunist. I grew up kind of with the influence of always working hard and knowing that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. So that was instilled in me from a very young age, from my mom and dad, and the whole positivity and outlook I have on life is definitely from my mom. She taught me that. I guess that's kind of what my childhood was like and how I kind of am myself today. And I came to work at Tropeaka, like I said before, through friends' connections. So I guess that's how I got here.
Love it.
All right.
You go the next one.
Okay. Which products do you recommend for a first buyer? This is a great question. We get this all the time. So go for it.
From @Lily_Hillman.
Hillman.13.
Nice. I would recommend the starter bundle. That's why we created it, right? We get a lot of people asking us this same question, like you said. It's got the starter bundle, has your protein, has your tone BCAA for muscle recovery and energy. It also has your superfood greens plus D, so you get that daily range of high-quality nutrition. And you also have immunity from memory. I'm trying to remember the starter bundle, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is immunity.
Have we got it on our wall here?
Do we have immunity? Yep, right here.
Yeah.
Immunity. So you got that for your immune support as well. So it's an amazing one. If you're more workout focused, then do the workout bundle. But that's what I'd recommend if you're really unsure where to begin.
Yeah, 100%.
And then from there, you can deviate and gravitate out towards the superfoods.
The superfoods
and maybe the protein energy bars or add them on top. That's actually a great idea because they're cheap. So you can do the starter bundle plus some protein energy bars. And
that's right.
And then you can also, the cool thing about that is the starter bundle is discounted by 20%. So you save money there. And you can also get a deluxe shaker bottle on top, which is a great way to start to join Team Tropeaka.
That's right. And if you guys ever have any questions or you don't know enough about the products or you just need some advice, please feel free to come at us in the DMs. We are always on and always wanting to help you guys out. So send us a DM if you need any help. We are very friendly. All right. Next question. What's your top 5 must-do health hacks? This one's from @HanWaters_ and also sort of ties into another question from @Brianna Hodgson. And she asks, what's 5 more biohacking tips?
Yeah, nice. So I think even Brianna might be talking about give us 5 more from what I did with the Health Code podcast because I talked a bit about biohacking there. So I want to talk about like 5 key foundational areas of health, so or staying well. One is nutrition, so we talk a lot about that. The other one is reducing stress, figuring out how to reduce stress, like meditation, for instance, Epsom salt baths. Obviously, sleep does it. Journaling's amazing. Just writing things down, really, really powerful for stress. And then you can even take even like the sleep tea. Although it's called the sleep tea, it's a calming blend, herbal infusion, so it's great for stress. Then you've got exercise, like such a massive priority, right? So make sure you're doing it every single day. You don't have to push yourself hard. Just make, like, one of the best things as well is high intensity interval training, HIIT workouts. You can do like short, sharp stuff that fits in with your daily routine. And as I said, like previously, it gets your lymphatic system moving. It's just like amazing for everything from weight management to like reducing your risk of diabetes and cardiovascular disease and whatnot. Like there's a million things. Getting out in nature, so important, like connecting, right? Like that's how we were designed. Like get out in nature, find what part of nature really works for you. Get away from like the blue screens that we have every single day. If you want to know what I mean by blue screens, is like screens emit blue light, which is great for stimulating you, but you also need that downtime, right? So getting out in nature is really, really good. And then finally sleeping, rest, like really focusing on getting a good night's sleep. Like that's the ultimate biohack. It's like sleeping. And you can do funky stuff on the side. So I know I mentioned that in the Health Code podcast, but you can do other funky stuff on the side. Like I'll give you some quick other biohacking things I do. Like I wake up and I jump on a trampoline, right? It's like gets the body moving throughout the day, works great, gets the lymphatic system moving. It's great for your joints. And it also, it's hard to be in a negative mood when you're jumping on a trampoline,
that's
right? The other thing is gratitude. It's such a massive biohack, just like getting your mental state right, journaling or speaking out. What you're grateful for, positive self-talk about yourself is so important. That's another one. What else do I do? Blue light blocking. So Iris, look at that. It's an app that you can download on your computer.
Or you can buy pretty glasses I did.
Or pretty glasses, exactly, which is a great idea. There's, supplementation and nutrition. I won't get into that because we talk a lot about that. But in terms of biohacking, there's heaps there. Drinking water, such a simple biohack, right?
Yeah.
So simple. What else do I do? Music. Like people underestimate the power of music for biohacking. So you can use like binaural beats or whatever kind of. I see the word all the time and I can't even pronounce it. But like Brain.fm has it. And like you stick it in your ears and with headphones, and it's great for concentrating while you're working. Like it's biohacking. Or if I like the song that I play in the morning is an uplifting song that I'll off iTunes that I play like while jumping on a trampoline because it gets you in the mood. It's like, hey, it's an amazing day, and I speak positive and I say positive stuff about myself, and I say what I'm grateful for. So I could talk for a long time about a whole bunch of different biohacking things, but that's a
The
good
main
place to
ones,
start.
yeah. The ultimate morning routine, one might say.
Exactly.
All right, next question.
I'll ask you this actually. What's the craziest thing you've done? Inna's gone
Oh, she's at it again.
Oh no, this is another
This is the
one.
same one from before.
Yeah, Inna's gone Carlvez. What is the craziest thing you have done for your health?
This is actually a really hard question for me. Oh.
You're not as crazy as me, not even
Yeah,
close.
I'm not as crazy. I'd probably go for a run. That's the craziest thing I do, exercise.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, well, look, you did a half marathon. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was training for a half marathon, then did it. I didn't actually do the event. I did it by myself.
Yeah, I still ran a half marathon.
Yeah,
Insane.
so just
That's
kind
crazy.
of pushing myself to the limits when it comes to, I guess, running, exercise, mentally and physically. Just always looking for that something extra that I can push myself towards, I guess.
Love it.
All right, where are we up to? The next question. This one is from at Evie Wotherspoon, and she asks, "Have you faced any troubles throughout Tropeaka?"
Yeah, as I said, every day there's a new challenge, right? If you're the fastest growing health food business, then you're going to have some challenges and some troubles and all that. The biggest one we face at the moment is COVID. With we have an international customer base and sending parcels and getting them on time to people around the world. People don't understand the freight network and how distribution and shipping works. You need planes in the air in order to do it. So we got what's happened during COVID. E-commerce sales have skyrocketed, which requires transportation by planes if you're doing international shipping. So there's greater demand on people being able to ship parcels every day around the world. And you got less planes in the air because of COVID. People don't also know that a lot of shipments go on a regular passenger jet. So you'll have your luggage, but a lot of these airlines actually take people's parcels with it. Different mailing companies and shipping companies have agreements with different aircraft carriers. So without those aircrafts in the air, no one's getting their parcels in time. So yeah, we've got some every large Australian company at the moment in the e-commerce space. They've got some frustrated customers around the world because of the fact that parcels aren't getting there on time. So that's a good example, and that's just that's a big trouble that we have at the moment, trying to navigate that, and it's not really a lot that we can do, but we're doing our best. I'll ask the next one from Kiki
Luke.
Aaliyah?
I feel like that's a silent I. Luke.
We'll
I'm
go
going
with
to
that.
call
We'll just
it.
make it easy. What product do you use the most?
You guys already know this.
Yeah.
I talked about it so much already.
Spirulina.
I have it every single morning, but I also have the Superfood Greens Plus D every morning as well. And sometimes I'll have it with the chocolate lean protein because it makes a choc mint smoothie.
Nice.
But literally just those two ingredients, and I just blend it just with water and a banana, just something super easy and simple.
Yeah, and people do a rookie mistake all the time. If you want your smoothie to taste great, add ice, add cold liquid. That's why when you go to any, in Australia, we have Boost Juice, right? When you go to Boost Juice, they add ice because it makes things taste better.
Yeah.
So if you want to make things taste better, make sure you add ice, right?
There you
Or
go.
at least cold water. Ice is always great. Next one.
All right. This
Not
one's
a question,
from...
this is a statement.
This one's from at Shanae with two E's.
Oh, no, I thought you missed daily routine.
Oh, no, I did. I
Which
missed
is just,
it.
no wonder you missed it. It was just 2 words, daily
I'm
routine.
so sorry.
But you know what? We've talked a lot about it already.
Yeah, that's right. I think
From
we have
Naomi,
touched a bit on
at
it.
Naomi.dwyer.
Yeah.
In terms of, I talked about my morning routine
Yeah.
before. Then it's making sure that you take breaks during the day. When you work as well, if you want to work productively, there's some science behind working really hard and focus for 50 minutes without getting distracted, then having a 5 to 10 minute break. So allowing yourself, your brain uses up a lot of glucose in order to perform at its best. So you need to allow your brain to be able to, I suppose, have some time off and they say 15 minutes. That's one bit of research that I saw that kind of works well for me as well. So I also go out during the middle of the day, hit tennis balls, which I'm very grateful for because it allows me also to get in the sun, which is incredibly important. Vitamin D is one of the most important nutrients and vitamins that our body needs for immune support, bone health, whole range of different mental health, a whole range of different reasons. So I get to get the sunshine, sensible sun exposure, and then get back into my day.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. At Shanae says, do you have an ambassador program?
You can answer this one.
Well, yes, we do actually. We get tons of these questions on the daily, but you can reach us in our DMs. However, to apply, you should at least we usually take about at least 20,000 plus if you've got that amount of followers on your account. So you can
not fake followers. We know as well. We get people reaching out with have bought 20,000.
So go through their likes and comments and it's just bots everywhere and you're like, no, I got you. So chuck us a DM if you want to apply. You can also email us at support@tropeaka.com.au, and we have some lovely ladies who manage all of our influencers, so we can help you get in touch with them.
And you got to understand, guys, as well, it's not like we're trying to be bougie with saying over 20,000, but we literally get thousands of people every year reach out to us, and we just can't be giving we just can't run an effective influencer program when we've got everyone involved. So that's why we've got to have some sort of limit. And even 20,000 doesn't guarantee. Generally it could be 50,000 for a lot of occasions at the moment. Just depends how much as well. We work with ambassadors as well that preach health and wellness on their Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it might be. So you've also got to look like someone who would represent our brand and it not look, even if you love our products, if it doesn't fit in with your kind of vibe of your account, then it's not really a good fit. You should go and approach a company where, say, if your vibe is more makeup related, then approach a makeup brand or whatever. Now, obviously, there's crossover. We work with people who focus on makeup and fashion and jewelry, so that's not a problem. But I'm just kind of giving a little bit of a little bit more information about how we come to a decision.
Awesome. All right, the next question. At Brianna Hodgson. I still don't know how to say your name.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah, she's back at it.
I love Brianna. Good stuff, Brianna. We got a lot of questions and we picked only the best. So well done, Brianna, for making the list twice. And also Gon Calvez. So.
Yeah, good job, guys. All right, so her question is, how would you explain your diet if you had to put a label on it?
Health-focused. So I've tried every diet under the sun, right? And I've seen diets work really well for people, and then I've seen the same diet work really poorly for someone. I don't think there's any individual diet that works for everyone, and especially when you're talking about someone who's gone through sickness or ill health, then it just completely changes things, right? You really need it personalized. So mine's health focus. I'm very humble to the fact that nutrition changes regularly. It's one of the most changing industries, and there's always new evidence coming out. So I don't commit to any certain ideology or whatever. I'm very open in terms of, if new data comes out in one area saying this kind of approach is better than others, then I'll change it, right? And I think that's important. There's obviously set principles that I've found that definitely work, like removing inflammatory foods from your diet. So you can generally change your life around removing wheat, dairy, and refined sugars from your diet, artificial sugars and refined sugars and whatnot. So there are certain things that I base my approach on, but also very interested in all the latest evidence to suggest certain approaches.
Yeah, nice. All right, the next question, this one is from @can'twell_Julie. I think she's made a comeback as well. I think we had a question before.
Doing great.
So she says, how do you flavor your products?
Naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So unlike a lot of brands out there, the big sneaky brands out there, they say with natural flavors, but then they'll have artificial sugars. It's come on, please. Like, don't treat everyone like an idiot. So be very careful as a consumer about gimmicks and gimmicky advertising and how different brands get around things. We're very proud to be 100% natural products, 100% natural, organically grown and certified organic when we can actually make it all certified organic when the ingredient is available. And great tasting products.
Yeah.
All 100% natural, sweetened and flavored.
Can confirm they are very delicious.
And getting even better.
All right, we're up to our very last question of this podcast. So this one is from @naturallynids, and she says, do you guys have any future expansion plans? I'm guessing into like other countries, warehouses and things like that.
Absolutely. So one of our, as I said, we want to impact millions of people in their health. And God, if we could do tens of millions, that would be amazing one day. So we know that one hurdle we have as an Australian brand is we're in the middle of nowhere when it comes to the world, and we got to ship a really long distance, right? Yeah. So we want to get our products over to the US. That's our second biggest market behind Australia. That means we can have really cheap shipping costs. We want to get our products into Europe and the UK after that, because we got a big UK and European audience as well that have to kind of have that higher, like we don't add anything to our shipping. We just literally, whatever DHL charges us, we put that at checkout. So we want to be able to provide that much more affordable shipping, which comes, but we have 80 different type of variants of our products when you add up all of our SKUs. SKUs are just individual variants. So a variant might be 200 grams and 450 grams, for instance. We have about 80 of them. So being able to produce enough product to then get it on a boat and send it to America to a warehouse to then distribute is a humongous task. We're focused and committed to achieving that. I think we can do it in 2021. Not sure when in 2021. Obviously, COVID also throws things into adds an extra element to it. But yeah, definitely future expansion plans. And we're also actively seeking out and looking to work with new partners who can really look after and protect our brand overseas. So we've got someone in Canada at the moment that's starting to grow with us, Brain Snacks Co., who are doing a great job with our Canadian customers. And hopefully we can find a partner in the US as well that would want to come on board as a distributor and possibly even UK. So as we grow, we'll attract even more attention. And expansion is always on the cards.
Yeah, awesome. Well, there you go, guys. It looks like we've reached the end of our podcast. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. Caleb, do you have anything else to add?
No, we've done amazing, I think, in this podcast. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much to everyone who sent through the questions. I am going to go and rinse my mouth out again from spirulina. And Meg, you can finish it off.
Let's wrap it up, you guys. You know where to find us, at Tropeaka, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all over the web. We hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a little bit more about us, and hope you guys actually know who we are now. Caleb, myself, and Tropeaka as a brand. So thanks for joining us on our journey, and we'll see you in episode 6.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Just a reminder before you leave, thank you so much again for tuning into the #Whodis podcast so far. Remember to hit that subscribe button right now so don't miss out on any future episodes, and also remember to share it with all of your friends. You can also find us at Tropeaka on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo with a whole lot of fun.